Clue is munching, having some dinner. Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today's project is going to be cleaning and stripping the engine bay for the RX7 and getting it ready to be painted. I've already got the front bumper and the fenders off. Now I need to finish getting everything out of the engine bay. So I need to get the power steering off. This master cylinder for the brake booster has leaked down here and stripped the paint. So I need to get that off, inspect it, and also prep that area to receive some new paint. Obviously this all needs to be cleaned, remove all the accessories from the front so I can get down in here and clean up some of the frame rails that have a little surface rust, and also get this wiring harness out of here, the chassis wiring harness, old and crusty. I want to do a refurb on it as well, and that's what I'm going to get started with. So first I need to start out in the car. So I'm in the interior of the RX7, and as you can see I've already stripped it all out. This is where the ECU and the engine harness came from, and that was very easy to get out. However, the chassis harness is all tied up in this, and so I was not able to just pull it through. My first thought was to just leave it and not mess with it, but that's not going to work out because that thing needs to be given a once over. One of the reasons we decided to do a full teardown on this car, besides just having a great build from top to bottom, was that the main problems with the car all came from electrical. Most of it was the engine harness, which had been chopped up when they installed the JDM 13B. But this is also part of the culprit. So I need to get this out, which means cutting a lot of this electrical tape and freeing everything up. So I'm going to start working on that, and hopefully I don't make any mistakes. Okay, so I very quickly discovered that that is not going to work. I started to cut and look for a connector to figure out where to detach all this, and there's no way. This wiring harness goes from down here through the firewall, and it splits off to every single accessory, goes all the way across, down through here, splits off down here where the ECU goes, splits into all these relays and connectors here, goes all the way up, and there's no quick disconnect from this half of the harness at all. So unfortunately I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with the harness in the engine bay and how I'm going to clean it and separate it away for paint, but that's what we're going to have to do. So to give myself an idea of what I'm actually going to have to work with, I'm going to go ahead and get everything else out and work around and see where I can move the wiring harness, cover it, and see what I can do. So I'm going to get started on that right now. Alright, so I was pretty successful in getting everything stripped out of the engine bay, except the wiring harness as I mentioned, but I was able to pull that completely to the side. So here's where it's sitting now. I was able to get that whole chassis harness pulled out, and it's now hanging over here. So the next step with this bad boy is to get it bagged up and taped off. I started masking a few things off, but I realized before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and hit everything with the spray tool for my compressor just to get it initially cleaned off. And then I'm going to hit the whole engine bay with some degreaser. Then it should be able to, or excuse me, the tape should be able to stick to some of the surfaces better, because right now it's just so caked with crap it just falls right off. So I'm going to do that now. Okay. All right, now it's time to spray all that out, then mask, and then clean, 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 clean before we can scuff it up and get it ready for paint. Okay. Okay, I seem to have found a solution with the wiring harness. You got it bagged up, got it taped off all the way down back into the firewall, and I have it strung up here so it's pulled up and out of the way, because of course it's in the area that has the most problems. Everything was crammed over here. We had the slave cylinder for the the brake booster, the master cylinder for the clutch, the steering rack, then we have the area where the brake fluid ate away at the paint, so that's all rusted, has to be fixed. And then over here it's pretty much okay, wide open spaces, but over in this area is where we're going to have to spend a lot of my time and effort. So next thing is to get everything masked off and then start scrubbing and prepping. Actually, before that I need to remove these eyelids from the flip-up headlights, but I tried to earlier and they were seized. I hit them with PV Blaster for these screws right here. The thing that sucks is they're really tight in there and they're just Phillips heads. Wish there was something a little bit more meaty. Anyway, I'm going to try and take those off now. Wish me luck. Okay, somehow I did it, but it was not easy. I had to use vice grips and also use my Dremel here on some of these because they stripped out so easy. Cut that in and then use a big flathead to get them out. So I'm definitely going to replace these when I reassemble. I'm going to match these up and use some real hardware, probably with a bolt head, because that was unnecessarily difficult. Alright, so now I've finished pulling all the random miscellaneous clips out of the engine bay and all the extra bolts, getting everything sorted. So now I'm going to go through with more degreaser and get it all cleaned out. So hopefully after this it looks good, but we still need to apply that painted coat of paint. Excuse me. Well, it's already looking tons better in here, and we haven't even applied any paint. But it's getting a little late in the day, and I'm going to have to pick this up on another day. So what I think I'm going to do tonight, just to save some time, is I'm going to go ahead and mask off all these brake lines, the steering rack, and get everything kind of ready to go so that when I pick it back up we can just focus on scuffing everything up. Then we'll hit everything with wax and grease remover and we can start applying primer and then eventually paint. Alright, so I just got back home from work today. Thanks to the time change we have a little bit more light to work with, and I'm excited to continue working on the engine bay, making some great progress so far. Got everything masked off, so we're almost there. Right now I want to focus on getting this rust taken care of. Got some there, got obviously the big missing paint down there, found some up here under where the weather stripping used to be. It seals for the hood. Clue is munching, having some dinner. And down here we have some surface rust on these front supports that I want to take care of. So to do that, got myself some finishing brushes. This set is missing, but the brass should do fine. And a wire wheel. Once we get that cleaned up, we'll degrease again and use some self-etching primer. Okay, so throughout the week I was able to get everything stripped down and primed that needed to be, chasing down rust, and almost the whole engine bay has a part or two that is primed up. So now we move to scuffing the surface to be ready for paint, followed by a quick wipe down with wax and grease remover, and then we'll start painting.
So I got the camera again, the OG of the channel. We're about to do something completely different that's out of our area of expertise. What are we doing? We're about to spray paint the engine bay. And you're gonna see the new color. Are you ready for a new color reveal right now? Here goes nothing. So can you guys guess the color yet? Thomas, what color is it? It's Mazda's Crystal White. So we're making a white car a whiter car, is what we're doing. So I'm definitely not sure if you guys can see this with the ISO settings of this camera, but like right here is the old white versus the new white right there. Like that is a huge color difference. So bring it around here, you can see a little bit better here. Old, new, old, new, old, new. That's so crazy. A little update, we just are hitting rock bottom with the second can of paint that we have. And these are the only two that we have temporarily. We're going to order some more. However, we were able to paint most of the engine bay, as you guys can see. There's some spots where we still have to go over. Once we get more cans, we'll go and hit those up. But all in all, it's looking really good.
I'm really happy with the way it looks. It looks pretty amazing, to be honest. And I'm happy with the color, because I wanted to try it out in here first before painting the whole car. Currently the car is a color called Noble White. And this is a Crystal White, which is offered on the 10th anniversary models and the S5 models.
So while it's not the original color that the car was, it's still a OE color, which is nice. So now he gets to get out there without hitting anything. Oh! So tell me, boys, what do you think? What do you think of all this right here?
We're obviously gonna have to go in there. Like you can see some burning paint right here, and some spots that we missed obviously when we prepped it. It's bubbling up a little bit over there, but we can go ahead and hit those up, sand them down, respray them when we get more cans. But come on, we gotta throw a before and after right here.
I'm really happy with the way it came out. It's my first time painting an engine bay, and we're using rattle can, and it came out pretty well. The brand, we'll see, we'll let it dry and do some filming with that as well. But this is the brand we used. So if this all turns out good, it's pretty reasonably priced too. And they matched the exact color I wanted. Pretty easy, so. Anyway, let's just let it dry and then take some shots.
Well, there we have it, guys. First shot of our new paint for the engine bay. Very happy with the color.
and happy with how it's turning out so far. However, we will need a few more cans to finish up the front, and need to wet sand a few areas where I nicked it with the actual paint can itself, and a few runs, and then we got clear coat for it as well, so it should look really pristine. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. As you know, please like, comment, subscribe. It means a lot to us and it makes a huge difference. And we'll see you guys in the next one.